There comes a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when your entire life pivots. No crowds cheering, no cameras rolling, just you, standing at the edge of everything you've known, staring into the unknown, holding nothing but a choice. To rise, or retreat. That moment? That's not fate. That's not destiny. That's decision. And decision is power. Because nothing moves until you move. Mountains do not shift. Empires do not rise. Legacies are not carved into stone until one human being says, I will. And they mean it. History has always belonged to the few who chose to reject the ordinary, chose to walk away from comfort, chose to stop waiting for the right time, and instead, became the right time. Every invention, every revolution, every triumph, started with one soul whispering to themselves, enough. Enough of playing small. Enough of letting fear dictate the terms. Enough of drowning in excuses while time burns. Thomas Edison, working by candlelight, failed 1,000 times before lighting the world. Was he lucky? No, he decided. Henry Ford was ridiculed by engineers, told the automobile was impossible for the masses. Did he listen? No, he decided. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Did he quit? No, he decided. Decision is the first law of success. Not motivation, not inspiration, decision. Because decision creates direction, and direction shatters doubt. But decision alone is not enough. The world is full of people who decide today and disappear tomorrow, who write goals in January and break them by February. Why? Because they never moved beyond wanting, beyond wishing, beyond hoping. Success demands blood. It demands sweat. It demands commitment. And commitment is a vow. A vow that you do not break when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's slow, when the applause fades and nobody is watching. Commitment is what separates the interested from the invested. It's the cold 5 a.m.s when the bed begs you to stay. It's the lonely nights when others party and you study. It's the silent sacrifices that don't get Instagram likes but build unshakable character. Alexander the Great wasn't just a conqueror, he was a man who committed. At 20, he inherited an empire on the brink of collapse. By 30, he had carved his name across continents. Why? Because when others hesitated, he charged. When others doubted, he believed. When others settled, he expanded. And so must you. There is no middle path to greatness. There is no, maybe, to mastery. Either you're all in, or you're out. Your dream, that thing that keeps you awake at night, it will not yield to half-hearted effort. It will not bow to part-time passion. It will not open to you unless you prove you are worthy. And worthiness comes through fire. Through discipline. Through relentless action in the face of resistance. Because the truth is, life will test you. It will send storms, detours, heartbreaks. It will tempt you with comfort, seduce you with distractions. It will whisper lies that you are not ready, not good enough, not capable. But understand this, life does not test you to break you. It tests you to build you. To ask one simple question. How bad do you want it? Not when it's easy, not when it's popular, but when it's brutal, when the world says no, when the finish line is invisible and every step forward feels like dragging a mountain behind you. That's when champions are born. In the dark, in the silence, in the moments when nobody believes, but you. Because belief is not a feeling. Belief is a decision, a commitment to a future only you can see. And when you decide, and commit, there is only one thing left. You dominate. Not people, not competitors, not markets. You dominate your own limitations. You dominate the voice in your head that says, not today. You dominate fear, by showing up anyway. You dominate mediocrity, by refusing to accept average as your identity. Domination is not aggression, it's alignment. It's when your actions match your vision. It's when every breath, every thought, every move you make is aimed at one target, becoming the person you were born to be. And that's the second death most people never face, not the one in the ground, but the one they suffer alive, when they bury their potential under distractions, doubts, and delay. Don't be most people. Be the one who decides. Be the one who commits. Be the one who dominates. Because the clock is not waiting. Your opportunity is not waiting. And greatness? Greatness doesn't beg. It demands. It demands you stop negotiating with your weakness. It demands you silence the crowd of opinions that never paid the price for your dream. It demands you rise when everything in you screams to stay down. So rise. Rise not with arrogance, but with authority, the authority that comes from knowing who you are and what you're here to do. You're not here to blend in. You're not here to shrink. You are here to build, to create, to lead, to conquer. And it starts now. Greatness starts now, but make no mistake. It does not come gently. It doesn't show up with a smile and an invitation. It arrives like war. It arrives with resistance, chaos, discomfort, because the universe must test you before it trusts you. You want freedom? It will test your discipline. You want abundance? It will test your gratitude when you have nothing. You want power? It will test your humility when no one notices your effort. The third law, the final law, is dominate. But to dominate, you must first endure. The climb is lonely. The nights are long. The winds are small. At first, invisible to the outside world. No applause. No recognition. Only the quiet voice inside whispering, keep going. And that voice, that relentless, unshakable belief in yourself, is the true difference between those who try and those who transcend. Because the world does not reward effort. It rewards execution. It rewards the man who shows up day after day, bleeding, sweating, aching, but never quitting. It rewards the woman who is laughed at, overlooked, underestimated, but keeps showing up until she's undeniable. You do not get what you wish for. You do not get what you dream about. You get what you are willing to suffer for. Success is not handed to you. It is earned, inch by inch, choice by choice, day by day, when no one is watching. And you still choose to rise. Let others chase dopamine. Let them scroll, waste time, seek validation. You chase domination. Not over people, but over the only opponent that ever mattered, your lesser self. The lazy you, the scared you, the distracted, addicted, comfort-craving you. That version of you must be destroyed, ruthlessly, daily, and replaced with the disciplined, focused, driven warrior that lives inside. Because domination is not one act. It's not one day. It is who you become when you outlast your excuses. Think of the giants of history. They weren't made in moments of ease. They were forged in struggle, in silence, in sweat and solitude. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't change the world with hashtags. He did it with conviction, with pain, with unbreakable belief in justice. Elon Musk didn't revolutionize the world working 9 to 5. He slept on the factory floor, risked everything, bet all in. Oprah wasn't born with privilege. She faced trauma, rejection, racism, and turned pain into power. So what's your excuse? You think the world owes you something? It doesn't. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. You owe it to the child version of you who dreamed without limits. You owe it to the future version of you who will either thank you or curse you. You owe it to this moment, this brief blink of an eye life, to not waste it chasing comfort. You owe it to the mission. Because you do have one, whether you admit it or not. You know it deep down. That calling, that whisper, the one that says, you were meant for more. But that voice will fade if you don't answer it. And one day, if you keep ignoring it, it will die, and you will be left with nothing but regret, the worst pain of all. So here's the truth. The difference between average and unstoppable is not talent. It's decision. It's commitment. It's domination. It's the decision to go all in when everyone else is playing it safe. It's the commitment to do the work when no one is watching. It's the domination of your own limitations, one at a time, until the only thing left is excellence. And yes, it's hard. But that's the price. And you don't pay it once. You pay it every day. You get up, you grind, you fall, you rise, you bleed, you grow. You refuse to surrender. You refuse to retreat. You refuse to be ordinary. Because the truth is, ordinary is easy. Comfort is easy. Quitting is easy. But you weren't born for easy. You were born to build, to rise, to conquer. So don't wait for the right time. Make it the right time. Don't beg for motivation. Become it. Don't follow trends. Start them. Don't fear failure. Use it. Don't run from the hard road. Dominate it. Because at the end of your life, when your story is told, let it not be a tale of potential wasted. Let it be a story of relentless pursuit, of fierce ambition, of a soul that refused to bow to anything less than greatness. Let them say, you decided, you committed, you dominated. You want to know the real enemy? It's not the economy. It's not your boss. It's not your upbringing. It's not your past. It's the voice inside your head that whispers, "Not today. Not good enough. Maybe later." Kill that voice. Starve it. Silence it. Because if you let it live, it will bury your future. You think you're waiting on a sign? This is it. This is the moment you decide that from now on, your life will not be a reaction. It will be a declaration. A declaration that you will no longer settle. No longer hide. No longer shrink to fit places you've outgrown. You will move like a storm. With direction. With intensity. With purpose. And when the world doubts you, let it. You don't need them to believe. You need you to believe. Because belief, real, unshakable belief, is the weapon that shatters limits. The kind of belief that says, "I will not stop. I will not break. I will not lose, because I refuse to quit." That is power. And the beautiful thing? It's already inside you. You were born with fire. But life tried to smother it. People who were too afraid of their own light told you to dim yours. Not anymore. No more asking for permission. No more explaining your dreams to people too small to understand them. No more hoping things will change. You will change them. You will lead. You will build. You will rise, not because it's easy, but because you chose to. You chose the pain of growth over the comfort of regret. You chose action over apathy. You chose to decide, to commit, and to dominate. And one day, when they ask you how you did it, how you built the life they said was impossible, you'll look them in the eye and say, "I made a decision. I kept my commitment. And I dominated everything that tried to stop me." Because in the end, your life will be defined by two things: the chances you didn't take, or the courage you did. So decide, commit, dominate, and never, ever, look back.